Among the free agents that have signed, and Ohtani does not qualify here. We're not talking about the big fish. No, we're talking about sneaky, stealth free agent signings that have caught our attention. They might not have been top of your news scroll. In fact, some of them come with a bit of anonymity. Yeah, stealth signings. Well done there, our production crew. Let's start with Carlos Santana signing with the Twins. It was a Twins lineup last year that was pretty good, right? They're top 10 in OPS. They're about middle of the pack in on base, and Carlos Santana checks all those boxes. Yeah, he's going to be 38 in early April, but when you get a switch-hitting power bat who's a plus defender on a one-year deal, $5.25 million.
Yeah.
We're talking about pennies on the dollar for some of these other higher ticket items. This is a great sign by the Twins.
I like it too. This dude would qualify, I think, in my terminology, as a gamer. You don't hear a whole lot about him. There's not a whole lot of noise surrounding him. He goes out there. He seems to be the dude that just says, okay, Mr. Manager, you write me in the lineup and I'm going to play. And that's what you kind of like. And for that dollar amount, to be able to fill a void right there and put him at the first base bag for you as a switch-hitting first baseman that has the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark and drive in runs, I'll take it.
Yeah, and he's been really good. He's going to fit into a lineup that we think is pretty good as well. And the Twins, sure, that's a nice ad for Minnesota. Let's talk about another guy who has been added to an AL Central roster, and he's coming back over from abroad. Eric Fedde did not have a great season in the big leagues when last we saw him as a major leaguer. However, gaze upon these numbers in Korea last year. The ground ball rate went through the roof because Eric went over there and kind of remade his game. We've talked to him on Hot Stove. In fact, we did so right when the season ended this year. He's excited about his new gig on the South Side. Certainly the White Sox are excited to have him. We're not sure if Dylan Cease is going to be around, but it's appearing more likely that he will. So along with Michael Kopech, that's a pretty good front three because I've got Eric Fedde tentatively slotted as the number 3 starter for them this year, Rip.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think it's a cool thing when guys get the mindset to say, you know what, do I have to go do something a little bit different? Whether it's pitching in Japan, whether it's pitching in Korea, because you can get rewarded for going over there and getting your work in to do it. But I think it takes a pretty special type dude to be able to do that, right? Because I don't think I'd have been one that says, yeah, I'm going to uproot and I'm just going to go. But if you have the mindset and the right mindset that I'm going to go over there, I'm going to work on some things. And you know what? Sometimes maybe your pitching coach over there says basically the same thing that you've been hearing here, but he says it's slightly different. And when that happens, sometimes there's a click. And if you do a different pitch and you have the ability to go out there and you feel no pressure, right? You're not looking over your shoulder. Am I going to get sent out of here? Am I going to get released? No, I'm here. And you go out there and you pitch and you have success, that breeds confidence. Then you get a deal like this and you come back over here, and I hope he continues this pace next year.
There are a lot of good success stories of pitchers that have gone to the Asias, Korea, Japan, etc., Taiwan. They've remade their game. They've come back here and had success. Miles Michaelis.
Yes.
Chris Flexen, I believe. Colby Lewis going back a little farther when he was A's property and then came back as a Ranger and stuck in their rotation for the better part of 6 or 7 years. There's another pitcher who signed a shorter deal, and we can consider this stealthy as well. You know, Sean Manaea was used as kind of that jack-of-all-trades guy in a San Francisco staff that really didn't define anybody unless your name was Logan Webb. You got spot starts, you were a bulk guy, you were a setup guy. The thought is for Manaea, who signed a 2-year, $28 million deal with the Mets, with an everyday starting role as he's entering his age 32 season, he's going to have a chance to reestablish himself as an every fifth-day starter. This is a guy who had a lot of success in that role as an Oakland A.
Yeah, but when you take a look at the size, there's nothing stealth or under the radar. It's a big dude. But I tell you what, I've always liked his stuff. Look, for some reason, whatever it may be, if you're left-handed, you got a shot to hang around and readjust and redo some things. I always liked his stuff. When you saw him pitching in Oakland, you liked everything about him. So I think this is a great move too, right now.
Yeah, this is a guy that he wore jeans to his first baseball practice as a kid. I mean, he wasn't born with the silver spoon in his mouth, going, with the great equipment, going to, travel ball games.
This is a high-end all-star pitcher.
Harold chiming in. It is a high-end all-star pitcher. Let's go to a guy who projected as a high-end all-star outfielder. Nick Senzel was second overall in 2016 by the Reds, coming out of University of Tennessee. He had struggled in his first couple of years with the Reds. They liked him. They gave him every opportunity, so they say. End of last year, when he came back up from AAA, he was great. The Reds kind of cut bait, and they have so much young talent, they figured that they're going to move on. Not that they don't believe that Nick can stick someplace else. So I think this is the ultimate below-the-radar signing. The Nationals taking a shot at a guy who still projects as a pretty good player. He's going to turn 29 in the middle of the season. And why not take a chance on somebody who, the scouts said 6-7 years ago was going to be a star.
Right. And see, that's the key. You're not taking what the scouts saw, because I think all the scouts saw basically the same stuff. So you're taking a BMW that's been in the shop for a little bit, and you're going to try to make him a BMW again. You're not taking a Volkswagen that was beat up and then got more beat up, and you're trying to make him a Beamer. You had some stuff. I like this move too, because you're going to Washington, you're going to play for the Nationals. 1 year, $2 million, that's a great deal for the Nationals, but this is going to give himself a chance to reestablish himself. Once again, I don't think he's going to be in a situation where he's looking over his shoulder. I think he's going to be given a job, go out there and keep playing, and if you keep producing, you never have to look over your shoulder. You just keep playing.
Agreed. Last guy we want to hit on this segment, because this is fun to go through some of these below-the-radar signings. Shintaro Fujinami. When you saw him throw early in the season with the Oakland A's, you thought, my heavens, how did 29 other teams miss on this guy? Because in short bursts, and I'm talking about really short bursts,
right,
like 2 at-bats at a time,
sure,
you thought this guy had Cy Young stuff. He stuck around a little later in an outing, got knocked around, and it wasn't as easy for him. But the stuff is still really good, and that's what the Mets are taking a shot on here.
I mean, look, I'm going to spend that money on the stuff alone, because you got to have faith in your pitching staff, your coaching staff, all the pitching analytics that involve with this. How do we get him to throw more strike one?
Yeah.
Because that's the key. The stuff right there, when he's throwing it around the zone and in, it's borderline unhittable.
Yeah.
But if we throw him ball 1, ball 2, it's not borderline unhittable anymore. He needs to fix that.